I got through. You go to Kiddush.
Nobody wanted to talk to you.
No, they said, Rabbi, you're so naive. Number one, I don't think you heard that. And
What
number
kind of a thing
two,
is that?
number two, he didn't mean it.
Huh?
And I saw that some people cannot take yes for an answer.
They can't move on.
No, this is a man, Pope of 60 million Americans.
1/3 of the planet also.
Yeah. He stretches forth his hands to say shalom, and he can't find people to
You know what it
reach
reminds
the
me of?
hand.
In the parsha that we just read, when Jacob reunites with his brother Esau, there's a few dots on the word and then Rashi comes in and says that he was looking to bite him or hurt him, and I said, why do you have to say that?
And how did Rashi know what happened
Yeah,
thousands of years
Can it be
before?
that they just
No.
have a brotherly reconciliation? And
I have some
same feeling,
other program.
Yeah.
I'll give you my whole background on that. My whole background.
Yeah.
In any case, so that was the thing that pushed me. Number one, I felt it's important to educate Jews and Catholics.
Yes, and you did.
The good news.
You co-founded the Center for Christian Jewish Understanding.
I went the following year. I was in 66 already. I went to Dr. Sanera, young
President
man,
of Sacred Heart.
Sacred Heart. He had only been there a few years.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him my story, and he was so excited. I said, this is the place for a center for Christian Jewish understanding. He says, I embrace it completely. And I believe he has become my very best friend. He's a giant of a man. He's Sacred Heart is the first Catholic university in the United States to have a non-clergy as its president.
Interesting.
First one.
I want to ask you one more thing. The Pope John Paul II went to the Kotel, the Western Wall, and like many of the people that go to the Western Wall, they write a little capital, a little prayer on a piece of paper, and they roll it up and they put it in a little crack. It's a certain iconic action that speaks to them. And the Pope did the same thing. And what were the words that were written on that piece of paper that the Pope put into the Kotel?
Forgive my people for what they have done to your people over the centuries because they misinterpreted scriptures. Forgive them.
How did we know that's not above my so how do we know that that's what he said?
Oh, they took it out. It's in a museum. Oh, no, it was taken out immediately. If an individual got a hold of that, it would be worth a very, very great amount of money. No, it's in a museum. I think it's in the Hebrew. I don't know whether it's in that museum, but it's valuable. I was with the Pope when he went to Israel.
Wow.
And every meeting I had with him only proved that he was greater than what I thought he was before.
Wow.
And the good news is that Pope Benedict was with him for 25 years as his theologian.
Do you think that Pope Benedict, the current Pope, yes, is reversing any of the advances that Pope John II had instituted?
I hope not. There's pro and con. People think yes, people think no. I don't think he's reversing it.
Okay.
I think he wants to go in that direction because he wrote the theology for John Paul II. It's just that he's, it's from a different era. It's like when I was 22, I was one era. When I'm 81, I'm in a different era. It's a different era. And he comes from the old school.
Okay.
And maybe didn't have the traumatic experience that John Paul II did because he's German. So he's Ratzinger. So it's a different experience which didn't shock him out of the war the way it shocked John Paul.
Did he accept money from the Nazi youth organizations to put him through?
Listen to me. I'm a kid, 18, 19, 20 years old, and I see the powers that be, and they're killing everybody who's not. So I'll go into the youth. What's the difference? No.
Is that Pope material, though?
I don't think it's worthwhile for us to point the finger and an accusation
You're probably
that
right.
is so old and I want to judge him today.
Okay.
And my 2 meetings that I've had with him are only positive.
Okay.
So I have great hopes. I don't think the church will slide back. But like the stock market, it doesn't go this way, right? It goes this way, that way, and then it goes up again. So I think the church has made tremendous strides in the quarter century with John Paul II. I think it may go a little sideways. It may go down. It'll never go down where it was because it'll be picked up. I'm most concerned who the next pope will be.
Yes,
Let's see what the Cardinals.
Now, how do you understand Christianity, Catholicism from a Jewish perspective? Is it possible that Jesus was the Messiah for the Gentiles? And is it possible that he's fulfilling Maimonides' statement that the Christianity brings the essence of Judaism to the nations, like the Torah will go out of Zion and all that?
The Rambam, Maimonides said both Islam and Christianity, Jesus and Islam, both bring the message of one God to the world better than we did. If anything, we're credited for creating them because they did the message better than we did. So that's a fact. One can't deny the fact that they have reached between Islam and Christianity. What do you have? 3-4 billion people who believe in a monotheistic religion. So they've done their job. You asked a different question, whether he could be the Messiah for the Gentiles. You're talking to a guy who has a lot of problems with Messiah.
Okay.
Okay.